Hey everyone, it's Michael and Colleen from FWDfuel Sports Nutrition, your best resource for fixing your gut, fixing your fatigue, improving your performance. And today we're going to talk about the best pre-workout smoothie. So this is not post-workout, this is not a pre-competition meal, this is the pre-workout smoothie right before you work out or compete. And we have the expert in making smoothies, my wife, all-star sports dietitian, Colleen Bogdan. Tell us about what you're going to give us today and how we can make an amazing pre-workout smoothie.
So actually part of my job, a lot of my job is actually standing behind a blender and watching these athletes, seeing how they're feeling when they come in the morning and kind of creating a masterpiece in the blender to help them get through their workout. Because a lot of people will skip a workout or skip a breakfast because they're too tired or they're not hungry or they're nauseous or they're nervous or whatever, and then they feel dizzy at practice or they feel sick or tired. They can't get what they want out of the workout, right? So it's so important to nail your pre-workout fuel, and most humans do very, very well with the pre-workout smoothie because it's already blended, therefore very easy to digest. So I'd love to tell you today about what should go into that pre-workout smoothie to help with energy and gut health and overall performance, right?
Yeah, so we have 3 tips. Really, you have 3 tips because you're the expert in this area. And the first tip everyone needs to know is what are the nuts and bolts into a pre-workout smoothie. So we should have some type of liquid, maybe have a carb. We're not talking macronutrients, that's our second tip. But what are the nuts and bolts to make an amazing pre-workout smoothie?
Ideal pre-workout smoothie consists of 3 items: a carbohydrate, a protein, and some form of liquid. Your protein, most athletes use it in powdered form because it's easy to come by, it digests very well, whether that's whey protein, collagen peptides, hemp protein, pea protein, I don't care. We actually just did a video on whey protein if you want to check it out. But protein is number 1, right, to help balance blood sugar, to keep energy stable, and really to help with post-workout recovery. Number 2 is the carbohydrate. You need energy. You need those glycogen stores to be filled. So most people enjoy fruit in their pre-workout smoothie. It's refreshing, it tastes good, it's easy to digest. I've had a few athletes who want something a little heavier, and I will actually roast off a sweet potato, put it in the blender with, a vanilla protein powder, maybe some cinnamon and, almond milk, and it's very good, very filling, and easy to digest. And then the third part, of course, is liquid, right? You need some kind of liquid: water, organic cow's milk, almond milk, hemp milk, flax milk. They even have oat milk now. I'm a huge proponent of oat milk for athletes. Higher carbohydrate content, tastes very good, and again, easy to digest. I would not recommend juice. It is not great because of the sugar content, and you might feel nauseous having that before a workout. So that is my top ingredients.
Don't need our blood sugar dropping right before we go to compete.
Not at
all. As you said, we have a video.
Or diarrhea, yeah.
We have a video on the best whey protein for muscle recovery, best protein shake for muscle recovery. And I want to give a shout out to a couple of companies because you mentioned, protein. We're adding protein to our smoothies. Back in the day, I'm not that old, but not that long ago, it was just you had an option of protein or vanilla or chocolate. Like that was it. So fortunately, yeah, that was it. Now we have some really cool companies coming out with some neat stuff. This is Matol Valley Naturals. They sent us some samples, and they have a matcha flavor. We have SFH Nutrition, SFH, which we really love because they're NSF certified for sport, and they have a churro and a candy cane.
That was very good.
Matol Valley Farms, there's also a company called Opportunities, and they are 1% for the planet, meaning 1% of all their profits go to charity. So if you're going to put some whey protein in there, make sure it's a high quality company, high quality ingredients. We have a post all about the best grass-fed whey proteins. You can check that out on our blog. I'll put a link. Grass-fed matters. If you tolerate whey, you're gonna put that in your shake. So check that out. Amazing flavors, even bourbon flavored vanilla with vanilla sourced from Madagascar. All kinds of good stuff. So check out that blog post. But let's go into the second tip. So you mentioned a little bit of carbohydrate, but we need to know the exact ratios of macronutrients. Macronutrients are fat, protein, carbohydrate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are what macronutrients are. What type of ratios do we need before we work out in 30-60 minutes in this pre-workout shake?
So you'll hear me say this a million times over, but nutrition should be individualized, right? But generalizing this, the protein to carbohydrate ratio will depend on your goals, your body weight, your sport. However, I would say most people would do very well with roughly 10 to 15 grams of protein before a workout and roughly 45 to 60 grams of carbohydrate. Again, it depends on their sport, your body composition. a sprinter, a wrestler, someone trying to stay a bit more lean, I might go closer to that 2-to-1 ratio where it's 30 grams of carbohydrate for 15 grams of, oh man, terrible math, 15 grams of protein, right? Versus like the ultra endurance athlete that's going out for a very, very long run, we might go closer to 60 grams of carbohydrate to 15 grams of protein, right? So it all kind of matters. But ideally, you want mostly protein and carbohydrate in that pre-workout smoothie, which the ingredients above will take care of that. And those are the ratios I would go for.
Now, why do we want a bunch of protein before a workout? Because protein builds muscle. Mm-hmm. So why are we keeping the protein a little bit lower in the pre-workout smoothie versus the post-workout smoothie?
It is a little bit harder to digest, not nearly as easy as carbohydrate, and also too, your body can't really use protein to turn over quickly as ATP for energy. So ideally the carbohydrate should be more of the star player, if you will, in that pre-workout smoothie.
Yeah, so before we work out, we're trying to put some fuel in the tank that can easily be burned. Mm-hmm. And then after the workout, we're trying to put some fuel in that's going to help us rebuild. Mm-hmm. So those are different goals. Remember, this pre-workout smoothie is different than our pre-competition meal, which might have a little bit higher protein or something different. So then we get into our third tip, fat. Mm-hmm. You know, where does fat come into this, and does it change based on the athlete or the sport?
It does. I mean, fat is a very great thing, but the time that you do not want to eat a high-fat food, whether it's healthy or not, or a high-fat beverage, healthy or not, is pre-workout. Watch out. I would either not include fat or include very little. Most athletes do best with roughly 1 tablespoon or less, whether that's peanut butter or a hunk of frozen avocado or whatever it may be. And again, I know everyone's GI system is much different, right? I have guys that can pound like 3/4 pounders and go sprint, and the next person can't even sip water without gagging, right? Without dry heaving. So, I mean, I get that, but in general, most people would do better keeping that higher fat post-workout, keeping it to 1 tablespoon or less in your pre-workout smoothie.
Right, and 30-60 minutes before, right? Is that right?
The smoothie, yes.
Does it change for, say, an endurance athlete versus a sprinter or explosive athlete like a football player? Is that pretty standard for most people? Digestion, it works well 30-60.
It's fairly standard, but again, all of our digestive capabilities are very, very different. I have some people that can chug a huge smoothie literally 5 to 10 minutes before they get into the pool, the court, the track, and I have others that are like, man, if this isn't consumed 2.5 hours before I go out there, bad things may happen. So
yeah, I'm sure a lot of it has to do with
you have to listen to your body at the end of the day.
Yeah, if you're super nervous, your body's going to shut down digestion, so you might need it a little bit sooner. We need some gastric juice to help digest some stuff and move it along. And when we're nervous and that sympathetic nervous system is wiring up, digestion's not going to happen.
Well, think about it. If you're a runner, I mean, think about that motion. It will slosh a bit if you drink it too close to a workout versus, you know, I don't know, maybe a sprinter who's going to just be bopping on the elliptical that day for a cross-training day, right? Totally different. So,
good stuff. So, check out the blog post in the show notes. I'll add a link there. If you like this, give us a big thumbs up, share with your friends, subscribe so we can keep trying to grow this channel. Head on over to our blog, FWDfuel.com. That's FWDfuel.com. Thanks for tuning in.